Hey everyone, welcome back. Let me ask you something. What if a market shows you a price but doesn't give you the ability to act on it? Because that's exactly what happened in the BlockDAG presale situation. After the presale ended, the project moved into listing phase. On the surface, this should be the moment where everything becomes real. Price discovery, open market, true participation. But instead, the structure unfolded differently. Some exchanges showed price. On CoinStore, the market was open, but presale investors couldn't even send their tokens there. So what does an open market mean if the main supply can't participate? At the same time, on Bitmart, tokens could already be deposited. And this is where it gets even more real. Because before the dump happened, there was a moment in the morning when price was sitting around 0.05, right at the level that was heavily pushed in the narrative. Under normal market conditions, that should have been the moment to execute, the moment to realize profit. And here's the important part. Even if that wasn't the absolute top, even if it wasn't the all-time high, it didn't need to be. Because at 0.05, the profit was already meaningful. It was already aligned with what was promised in the marketing narrative. That level alone was enough for many investors to exit with a rational, satisfied gain. But it didn't happen, not because the opportunity wasn't there, but because the market itself wasn't open. No trading, no execution. So even though the price was visible, it was not accessible. And that's the key difference most people overlook. This was never about catching the perfect top. It was about having a fair opportunity to act when the market presented a valid exit. And that opportunity didn't exist. Now fast forward. By the time access starts to change, the market condition is no longer the same. Price drops, momentum weakens, confidence fades, and what was once a clean, logical exit turns into uncertainty. Now layer that with everything else happening. After sale is still ongoing. New supply continues to enter the system, even as the structure is not fully aligned, sometimes even at prices below exchange levels. So now you have a visible price that couldn't be acted on, ongoing token distribution, fragmented exchange conditions, and extremely low demand relative to presale pace. Markets don't move randomly. They move in patterns driven by behavior, structure, and narrative. And the pattern here is clear. Price moved first without access. Access comes later, but into a weaker market. Supply continues while demand is not ready. That sequence creates pressure. And when pressure builds in a market that cannot absorb supply, the result is not surprising. The move below 0.05 is not just a drop, it's a structural confirmation. Now this is where I want to introduce a simple question. If demand was actually strong, why didn't the after sale sell out quickly? Why were there still remaining tokens even after all the exposure, marketing, and narrative? Because in a truly strong demand environment, supply gets absorbed fast. Not slowly, not partially, fast. And this is also where some people might ask, why do you keep saying demand is extremely low? The answer is simple. I've already broken this down in previous videos and content, but you don't have to take my word for it. You can verify it yourself. Go look at the presale pace, how fast capital was coming in, then compare it with the current after sale condition. Look at how many tokens are still left, how long it takes to move. Do the math, observe the difference in velocity, because markets don't lie in numbers. And when you run that comparison, you'll start to see the gap. A very clear gap between expectation and actual demand. Feel free to come back here and share what you find, because once you see it, the rest of the structure starts to make sense. So going forward, the real question isn't whether people will finally be able to sell. It's this: when they can, will there be enough demand to absorb it? Or will the structure continue to resolve the same way it already started? Because at the end of the day, markets don't reward what you see. They reward what you can actually execute. This is just my perspective based on structure and observable behavior, not financial advice. Always do your own research. If this gave you something to think about, drop your analysis below and follow Bias Positive Digital Rise for more. Stay sharp.